What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can eliminate that annoying wrist pain you get when doing push-ups, reduce the chance of injury to your wrists, and showing you guys a handful of exercises that you guys should start incorporating into your workouts so that we have healthy wrists, which will help for your long-term calisthenics success. Now, wrist pain is a very common problem, especially for beginners when they're first learning how to do push-ups. I mean, when we're doing push-ups, our wrists are in this very hyper-extended position, and on top of that, we have our body weight loading into that. And without proper joint conditioning, this can be a very uncomfortable position for a lot of us. Now, a very quick solution to this is by doing push-ups on bars so that your wrists are more in a neutral position instead of a hyperextended position. But like I said, that's a very quick fix and it doesn't actually address the root problem. So if you are having discomfort in your wrists, doing push-ups on your knuckles or on push-up bars are a great way to be able to get that work in while also preserving your wrist health. But if you eventually want to be able to do push-ups on the ground with your wrists in this position, we have to address some other elements as well. And more specifically, I'm going to be talking about strength in this video. So believe it or not, there are about 20 muscles that cross your wrist joint, both in the front, back, and those muscles combined help your wrists move in this up and down direction and also the side to side direction. This is called wrist flexion. This is wrist extension. Moving towards your thumb is called radial deviation, and moving towards your pinky is ulnar deviation. And for a lot of beginner calisthenics athletes, these muscles are pretty undertrained. Not to mention it's probably undertrained in a lot of more intermediate athletes as well, because many people don't really do direct training for our wrists. So when we don't have as much strength in these muscles that cross the wrist joint, it can cause our joints to take more load and pressure when we're doing workouts. It can cause instability, and later down the road, it can cause that wrist pain / injuries that you may have experienced before. So by strengthening all these muscles that cross the wrist joint, we can better support that wrist joint, leading to more stability, more control, and reducing the chances for injury and pain. So I'm going to show you guys 4 exercises that we can all be doing from home with just a singular resistance band. All right, so if you do not have a resistance band, you can actually get one on Amazon for literally like $6, and I highly recommend you invest in one because not even just for your wrists, but you can use these for so many other body parts, and I completely think it's worth the investment for your long-term health. For this first exercise, you're going to need a resistance band, and you're also going to want a supported surface or a table. Something where you can put your forearm onto like this with your hand off of the table. You're going to grab onto the resistance band, and then you're going to anchor the bottom of the resistance band. For me, I'm going to put it on the floor and just step on it with my foot. So now I have this anchor to this resistance band. I'm gonna have my palms facing up with the resistance band in my hand. From here, I'm gonna grip the band and I'm going to move up with my palms going towards the ceiling, just like that. This is called wrist flexion, and this trains the front side of our forearm, which trains the muscles that cross the wrist joint. Now, when we do this, you kind of want to block your forearm so that you're not getting motion from the elbow joint, because a lot of people make the mistake of trying to do like a mini bicep curl with their forearm coming off the table. So it's important that you anchor your forearm down and you want movement purely at the wrist joint. Now, we want to aim for about 3 sets of 12 to 14 repetitions on this. The good thing about resistance bands is that if it starts getting a little bit too easy, all you have to do is just put more tension into the band. You can shorten the band, or you can get a higher surface so that the band is more stretched and it'll be a lot harder. So for all these exercises, I like to do about 3 sets of 12 to 14, and I would do these exercises about 3 to 5 times a week. Since these are a little bit on the easier exercises and it won't cause much fatigue, you can afford to train this a little bit at a higher volume. Now, the second exercise is super convenient because we can do it from this exact same position. All we have to do is just turn our palms down so that it's facing the floor like this. Then grab the resistance band again and block your forearm down, supported like this, and just bring your knuckles up to the sky with your palms facing down. This is training a movement called wrist extension, and this trains the back side of our forearms. And remember, those forearm muscles on the back cross the wrist joint, so this is why we are doing this motion. Again, make sure you support your forearm like this with your other hand, or else a lot of people are going to try and compensate and have a little bit of motion at the elbow joint, doing like a mini bicep curl. We want motion purely at the wrist joint, okay? So same with this, 3 sets of 12 to 14. Now these next 2 exercises are gonna require you to tie a resistance band to something stable. This can be a door frame or a pole, whatever stable object that you may have. I'm gonna be using this right here on my bed to tie my resistance band down. Now, once we have it anchored, we are going to be facing the band right now. Bring your arm back to your side like this. You can do this standing as well. I'm gonna be sitting because my room is small, and if I stand, you guys won't be able to see my head. You are going to bend your wrists backwards like that, pulling on the band. So your pinky side, the direction that you will be going, okay? This motion is called ulnar deviation. Again, we want to try avoid pulling with our arm like this, or we're getting a lot of our posterior delts. You can do is you can try and stabilize your forearms with your other hand and try and have motion directly from the wrist joint only. And you're gonna be moving towards your pinky side just like this. This is kind of difficult for me, which shows me that my ulnar deviation is a little bit on the weaker side. And again, working up to 3 sets of 12 to 14 is gonna be your goal. Just to reiterate, you don't have to do this sitting. In fact, doing it standing is probably gonna feel a little bit less awkward. This feels a little bit awkward for me because I'm sitting, but I have no choice because my room is very small. And the next exercise is very, very simple. Now, we're gonna be facing away from the resistance band, just like this. On the other exercise, we moved towards our pinky side for ulnar deviation, right? Now, we're gonna be moving towards our thumb side for radial deviation. For that, you're just gonna be facing away from the band so that our thumbs are facing away as well. From this position, we're gonna be pulling the band towards our thumb, just like this, instead of our pinkies like we did in the last exercise. This is now called radial deviation. Again, another compensatory movement a lot of people do is they try and kind of move their entire arm like this. We don't want that. Try and keep that arm still and have motion directly coming from the wrist joint only, okay? This tends to be a little bit stronger for people compared to ulnar deviation, so you might find this one a little bit easier than the previous exercise. So for this, we're gonna go 3 sets of 12 and work that radial deviation. So there you have it with those 4 exercises: wrist flexion, wrist extension, ulnar, and radial deviation. Now, of course, just because you do these 4 exercises doesn't guarantee that your wrists will be indestructible, but by strengthening the musculature that crosses that wrist joint, you are decreasing the chances of injury, increasing stability, and potentially helping with any pain symptoms you may be having. So definitely start incorporating these exercises into your routine anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week. If you're just starting this, I would just start with 3 times a week. And if you do, you're gonna notice a big difference in your wrist health long term. Take care of your wrists, guys. It's essential for upper body fitness. So combine this with good stretching and some mobility work and you will be golden. Also, guys, I did just release my free 3-day beginner course on how to start working out. It's a completely free course that teaches you how to work out as a beginner and build a habit so that you can stay consistent long term. If you guys are interested, it'll be the first link in the description below, so make sure to go check it out. Other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you found it helpful. Hit that subscribe button and that like button as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.